Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the Gamercast Network video game show for Sunday, March 22nd, 2009. I'm Chad. This is episode 134, and this week for the roll call, a question from William. If you were to be trapped in a video game for the rest of your life, what game would that be? And joining us this evening is Phil.
Well, I think people would expect me to say World of Warcraft, but I came up with a different answer.
Wait, first off, why would you want to live in World of Warcraft?
Save it. You can ask that question when it's my turn.
Okay, good.
But if I was to be stuck in a world, I think I would want to be stuck in the world of Madden, just because every year I would keep coming back and I would live forever.
Until you made it on the cover and you wound up critically injuring yourself.
Yeah.
That would suck. Okay. And Ivan, I guess your answer is World of Warcraft?
Azeroth, baby!
You really want to live on World of Warcraft?
Dude, why not? You get to fight stupid orcs and hit on the hot blood elf chicks, fish all day, fly around on dragons. Yeah, that would suck.
It's like constant warfare, though, is it not?
Not if you hang out in a capital city.
You'd just be one of them dudes that dwell in the little capital city area, and that's it.
I guess if you die, you come back.
Right, you res. And your entire life is essentially the life of a guy who sells stuff on eBay. Because you could just make money on the auction house all day and not even have to go anywhere.
And finally joining us is Keith.
I'd want to live in Lego World, where I could just build all kinds of crazy shit, and it would work. I'd make some crazy-ass, bear riding a unicycle mount, and it would work, because it was Legos, and I could do it.
You could make any car you want, and it doesn't matter that you don't have gas, because it just works. And when you get in a car accident and you die, somebody just walks by and rebuilds you.
All right, then who's taking Sex Station 7?
Must that be an answer?
Well, what's your answer, Chad?
I was going to say Wing Commander, but I don't want to die.
Oh, dude, and you were just reprimanding him about Azeroth. At least you can breathe the air there.
Okay, you know what? Since I have nothing witty or clever, I'll just take one for the team. Sex Station 7.
Sweet.
Yes.
This week on the Gamercast Network. On Sarcastic Gamer, the crew discusses zombies and butter. Tune in to find out why. Check out the post-game report to get all the facts. Post-game, grab a rocket launcher, hop in a tank, and blow up some massive bosses. Because Retroforce Go is talking about Metal Slug. Which game in the beloved Sprite-tastic series is the best? Should the series move into 3D? Find out all this and more in this week's episode. On Sarcastic Gamer Pick, the ladies discuss the phenomenon that is Peggle. And how much is your gaming time worth to you? Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more. GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Keith, you played a couple games.
Yes, I did.
So tell us first of Henry Hatsworth and the Puzzling Adventure for the Nintendo DS.
It is the greatest Nintendo DS game ever made.
Now, hold on. Before you get into it, you tried to convince us that Monster Lab was the greatest DS game.
No, I said it was one of. Monster Lab is still a sweet game. I'm still playing that. But this game it's like Mario Brothers meets Tetris.
So it's even better than Monster Lab.
I enjoy it more than Monster Lab, yes.
Okay, so now I've seen some of the gameplay videos of this thing, and apparently on the top screen you're going back and forth with your guy, like a Super Mario kind of world, right? Things you interact with in there send parts down to the lower screen, which is kind of like a Tetris game.
Yes, as you kill monsters in the upper world, they go down to the lower screen as puzzle pieces, and then you have to intermittently switch into the puzzle world to do puzzles to kill them there and to gain power-ups.
What's he get, bigger monocles or...
No, you upgrade your robot that you get. Apparently, when you drink tea, you summon a gigantic robot and go on a rampage.
Sweet.
What is this set in, like 1900?
Yeah, probably like 1800s, 1900s.
Kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type of deal?
Yeah, kind of. The whole thing is he has a golden hat that he found that is cursed that lets him go to the little puzzle world. The golden hat is part of the suit of power, because apparently to control the world you have to be the best dressed gentleman there is.
Well, of course.
So he's going to try to find the rest of the suit of power so he can be the best dressed gentleman ever. It's great because when they talk, they just mumble. He's like,
So how long is this game?
I don't know. I'm about 10 hours into it. It's insane amounts of fun. I've been very pleased with my last few DS purchases. I bought this one on cover art alone because it has a little British guy with a monocle, a saber, and a cup of tea. And I was like, all right, that game has to be sweet. Yeah, but that and Monster Lab are both... If you got rid of your DS, that kind of sucks. To me, I would go buy a DS to play those two games.
Next topic.
And you also tried the other one I saw came onto Steam, that Larva
Mortis.
Yeah, which apparently is an older game that they just put on Steam now and gave achievements and everything.
Yeah, it's basically Crimson Land, except you level your little guy up and you go through stages instead of just going until you die.
Yeah. The only real problem I saw with it was the boards, well, at least the ones I played, were very small, not very big, and there's no multiplayer. It's all single player.
Yeah, it's all single player, but that's been a good time-killing game.
And for those who haven't played Crimson Land's like an overhead. Mouse is your targeting, WSAND is movement.
Yeah, kind of like Geometry Wars, that type of movement.
Now, here's the question. Did you buy or just play the demo?
I played the demo and then bought it. Because I was like, you know what? For $7, I think it was like $7.99, maybe it was $8 or something. It is worth it to me. Because I really enjoy these kind of games, and I can't find my little registration thing for Crimson Land. So I can't get the game back. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this.
I was looking at Steam. There's actually a couple other ones, little independent games on there that look pretty good. I bought a couple of them. Mr. Robot.
I downloaded the demo. I haven't played it yet.
I've only played the first couple tutorials. That's actually pretty good looking. Looks pretty fun. And Aquaria, which is like a Metroid Castlevania kind of game. See, personally, I'm trying to find little small games because when I leave in a week and a half, I'm looking for things to play on the plane, as long as my laptop battery lasts, and when I'm there in Hong Kong.
You're not going to bring your DS?
I'm trying to keep very tech low. Laptop, camera, recording things so I can still do the show. That's about it.
Crazy bastard doing the show from Hong Kong!
I don't think I've put in the show that I'm going to Hong Kong in a week and a half.
Week and a half already?
I'm leaving week from Wednesday.
So you'll have one more show in Cleveland.
Yes.
And then the next one will be from Hong Kong.
Yes, it will. It'll be fun. I'll be bright-eyed and all awake at 7 a.m. talking to your asses.
So they're, 12 hours difference?
When you guys start recording at 6:30 p.m. here, it'll be 7:30 a.m. there.
Snap!
13 hours ahead or behind?
Ahead. I'll be Monday morning.
You'll be like future Chad.
Yes, I'll be talking to you from the future.
Future Chad.
And that'll be for a month.
Tell the triad I said hi.
Well, yes, there's a triad, but it's not like...
You don't say hi to them.
No, you don't say hi to them because you don't want to get killed. You just acknowledge their presence, see the men with the tattoos on their backs, and say, that's a triad guy. I'm going to walk the other way right now.
Next topic.
Did anybody else do anything this week fun to liven up our listeners, to enlighten them, to bring gracious things to their lives?
I ate some black frosting out of the tube of frosting, and my poop turned green.
Oh my god.
There you have it.
I wouldn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either, but it turned green.
Okay. Anybody do anything video game related to brighten up the now disgusted lives of our listeners?
Geez,
Warcraft, right?
Did
Just
I do
you
anything?
said
Well, I
Warcraft.
did. Yeah, I did do Warcraft. I've officially finished all endgame content.
Oh, so you're all done.
Well, I'm not done. I don't have all the gear yet that I need, but there is nothing that I have not seen in Wrath of the Lich King.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
The only other thing I did was play the I, Dracula update. They added a bunch of new monsters and new weapons. They added a wave mode, where before it was just shoot stuff until you die. Now it's more like Crimson Land, where you fight like 10 or 12 monsters, and then the round ends, and then you can go buy items with the money that you've earned.
That sounds like Larva Mortis.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a little guy standing there, and he's circled by all these weapons, and depending on how much money you have, you walk over an item you want, and then you purchase it, and then every round you wind up getting a perk, which is the same as it was before. Like I said, the difference being is stuff comes in waves now, so instead of it all just coming at you at once, you kill a certain number of monsters, and then the round ends, and you actually have to start it back up by walking over the next wave thing, and then they come again, and then you kill all those guys. So it's a little easier because you don't have to worry about constantly moving.
Larva Mortis has safe rooms as well. When you clear a room, it then becomes a safe room, and you can rest up. These games sound very similar.
Yeah, it's not anything very innovative, but it's for the iPhone and it's fun.
It's like $2 for the iPhone, 2 or 3.
It was $1. The dollar was the introductory price. Once they released this update that they just released, I think it was going to go up to $2 or $3.
Next topic.
Which are still very reasonable prices for those games, unlike the very odd prices they have for the Xbox Live Arcade Hasbro games.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap right there.
Last Wednesday on Xbox Live Arcade, they released the first set of Hasbro games for Xbox Live Arcade, and this set includes Connect 4, Yahtzee, Battleship, and Scrabble. The demo pack for that's one download, so you gotta download all those. It's like 240 megabytes. That download's free. And then when you go into the game, you can do a trial version of each of the separate board games, at which point, if you want to play the game more, you have to buy the game for $10. Not all the games, just the ones you want to play. So if you want to buy Battleship, you spend $10. If you want to buy Battleship and Connect 4, you got to buy Battleship for $10 and Connect 4 for $10.
Are you me?
No, I'm not you. And the thing is, if you just play the trials, I downloaded this and tried it out. Those trials only last for about less than 2 minutes. You can't even play a full game.
Who's going to pay $10 for Battleship?
Connect 4.
Yeah, that one's even worse.
The only way I think I would pay $10 is if it was a bundle of like 3 or 4 games.
Which makes sense. If these 3 or 4 were together for $10, that, like Connect 4 for $2.50 or $3 is a lot more manageable than 10.
The problem I have is that they're advertising this as family game night games. And so essentially what they're doing is they're asking families to pay $40 for these 4 titles so that the family can sit down and play them instead of playing real board games.
I'm sure they have a better marketing twist than that.
They don't, though. That's what it's being advertised as, is family game night. Buy these games and play with your family, which is what the Hasbro Family Game Night is not new. They had it before, but it was playing real board games. So now they're advertising this as the exact same thing. So what incentive do you have to play a electronic version with your family instead of the analog version?
Clean up, set down. Like Chris was all about that.
Really? Connect 4?
Dude, I would put money on it. If you pose that question to Chris, he's like, oh, I'm all for it, dude. He doesn't want to set up anything. Nothing.
Yeah, but none of these games require much setup.
It doesn't matter. He would be for it.
He's also not a family. Well, technically speaking, he doesn't have kids or anything, so he's not the best person to ask, how would you handle family game night?
Yeah, that and a lot of games like Battleship, you kind of can't do on the same console. You'd need multiple consoles because you would want to hide your screen from the other player and whatnot.
That's why you can't play Uno with more than one person in the same room. It's pointless.
They're not going to stop here. They're going to try and release more games for this. They had also on there, what was the other ones they're going to do? I can't remember.
Don't whiz on the electric fence.
Log.
Log?
It's log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
It's better than bad. It's good.
It fits on your back, it's great for a snack. Come on.
Rolls over your neighbor's dog.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I should know that. What's that from?
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Same thing
Yeah.
as Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence.
You idiot. That was a great TV show, by the way.
One of the best cartoons ever.
Next topic.
So, in lieu of anything else, do you want to try a fact or crap?
Sure.
Harumph.
Bundy.
Poppycock.
So, very simple. This is 4 facts and 1 crap. You must tell me which one's the crap. Number 1. Ubisoft released a game for the Wii called Pets Crazy Monkey, where you raise and dress up monkeys. Number 2. Years ago, Midway was making a Jurassic Park light gun game. Now, they lost the Jurassic Park license, so instead, they used the license for the band Aerosmith and continued making their game.
So it was a Aerosmith light gun game?
Yep.
Revolution or
No,
Evolution.
no, hang on. That's number 2. Number 3. The Guild Wars original development team was made up of former Blizzard employees and developers. Number 4. The best-selling game in Japan for 2008 was a PlayStation Portable game. And finally, number 5. We know those games like Yaris and Dash of Destruction on XBLA. Those are basically advertisements for games. Ad for games, those kind of things. The next Xbox Live Arcade game, which is going to be an advertisement game, is from Domino's Pizza. And there you go. 4 of those are true, 1 of those is false. Which one is false? And since Keith thinks he knows at least one of them is true, we'll start with you, Keith. Which one's false?
What was the 4th one?
The best-selling game in Japan was a PSP game.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one is the crap. Just because I think the other ones, I think things of them.
You think things of them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Ivan, which one?
I'm going to go with the last one. Dominoes.
Okay. Fine. And finally, Phil, which one?
I would imagine PSP would be true just because the Japanese people love the PSP compared to the rest of the world. Guild Wars, I think it's a pretty known fact that Blizzard employees made that, and people were hoping that would be the next Diablo 3.
I think that's his sly question.
Nah, that one's true. I know at least one of the guys was a developer.
Well, I clearly think it is true because I didn't pick it, but I'm saying that's one that we may end up to be turning around and say, oh, he got us there. Well played, you bastard. You scurvy dog.
So I think by process of elimination, I'll go with number 1, the Ubisoft Pets Crazy Monkey game.
Almost. I was so close. Ivan, damn you. I made up the Domino's Pizza. I thought for sure someone would be an avoid the Noid kind of thing. You remember that back in the day?
And that's what I was thinking. You got me on that one. Well played.
They don't do that anymore. I don't think they do the Noid.
I was thinking of a revival kind of thing, you know.
And actually, I was very close to not picking it because I know Domino's isn't doing real well. I did a search for Domino's one day because I wanted to get one of their Philly cheesesteak pizzas. And there's not a Domino's within like 15 miles from my house. Since I don't think they're doing real well, I thought they did a little bit of research. They knew Xbox stuff was popular. They knew developing a game for it was fairly inexpensive compared to trying to do more advertising. And so I thought it was a good idea. And then I thought, no, the other ones sound... I have to admit, I took a guess because I knew a couple of the ones sounded real.
Yeah, there is a Crazy Monkey game.
Yeah, Ubisoft is the company that they've got like 50,000 of those things. The Imagine series, like Imagine Bride, Imagine Baby Mama.
Imagine crack whore. Imagine serial rapist.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Revolution was the light gun Aerosmith game. That originally was a Jurassic Park lights gun game. They just moved over to Aerosmith when they lost their license.
So what, you shot like Stephen Perry in the face instead of dinosaurs?
No, you were shooting like agents. The only thing that had to do with Aerosmith was that was the music.
Nice.
And then what else was there? Yeah, the devs from Guild Wars were Blizzard developers. And the number 1 selling game in Japan for 2008 was a PSP game. I think it's one of the Monster Hunters, if I remember correctly.
Monster Hunter was a fun game.
I've never... Those are like collecting kind of games. You run around and collect monsters or farming, or what kind of game is it?
You kind of run around and you fight the different monsters. You don't tame them, or I never tamed them. I would kill them and take their pieces and sell their pieces for money.
So grats there, Ivan, on your win.
The Domino's Pizza game sounded kind of believable. I mean, think about it. There's how many cooking games out there now? And even if you went beyond that aspect, you could like cross it over with Paperboy where you're delivering pizzas.
I was going to say, Chad, you could market that thing too. You could have a pizza delivery game where you have to fight crazy monsters or some crap on the way to delivering your pizzas.
Wow, that sounds so just like two different genres, like mixed right there. Delivering pizzas and fighting monsters.
Well, is it any different than delivering Doritos and being chased by Tyrannosauruses?
No, I guess not. Yeah.
Zombie infestation survivors need their pizza too.
It's true.
Next topic.
Okay, so we have some mail.
Bag.
Thank you.
Male.
Hormones.
Male.
Genitalia.
Okay, so we had a guy here who sent in a rather long message. So sit down, sit back, relax.
Don't do it.
Hey guys, love the show. I've got a comment on episode 133. One, regarding used games, what makes the video game industry different from any other industry? I'm pretty sure out of all of you guys, some people have bought used cars, used houses, used sporting equipment, sporting good equipment, which are sold in new and used formats. The used market is a valid and viable marketplace, and I agree that if EA or even the smaller manufacturers want to get into that business, they could make it happen. I know there's a lot of hate for GameStop, but I don't see the hate for the used market as a whole. I don't see why the video game industry is different from any other industry. Anyway, also on the Magic the Gathering, one PC analog to that I've enjoyed is called Astral Masters. It's a very good standalone trading card game like that. You don't have to buy anything else once you buy the game. You earn cards through playing, or you can play random and have access to all the cards. It's a really cool option for that. I've enjoyed that one a lot. Anyway, love the show. Keep up the good work. I'll keep listening to you.
his used game comments. I think we pretty much agree with him, right?
I remember we did that. I don't remember what was in the news. It might have been the first time. Actually, I do remember now. It was the first time somebody was talking about or complaining about not getting a cut of the used game sales. And I remember specifically talking about used cars. And me or somebody saying something about, like, when you buy a Toyota and you want to sell it, you don't have to give Toyota a cut of what you make on selling your car. And we went into detail about several different industries like that.
Yeah, we agree with him. I think the issue people have with GameStop is it's one big company getting all that money from used game sales.
I don't like GameStop because they're pushy as all get out.
Are there anything equivalent to GameStop for other industries? Because there are small used bookstores, but nothing huge. They're not cutting into normal sales of books.
There are franchises like, they used to be called the Record Exchange. Now I think they're just called the Exchange. They do movies, music, and video games. They're obviously not nearly as big as GameStop. They don't make $8 billion or whatever GameStop pulled in last year.
No one that really flaunts it as much as GameStop does.
Well, and I think GameStop flaunts it just because they have the money. They're so big, and they essentially doubled their number of stores when they bought EB Games. Essentially, GameStop got as big as they are mainly by buying up the competition. Obviously, they were doing well enough before that they had the money to buy up the competition. But you guys are all right, though. That doesn't change the fact that even when they were competing with other companies, they were still very pushy, very annoying. It never ceased to amaze me how one company employed people that pretended to have so much knowledge, yet were completely unknowledgeable. Like, you'd go in there, they would try and sell you pre-order every new game coming up, and if you asked for, I'm looking for a game with a purple blobby thing for my cousin, they'd have no idea what you're talking about. Yet you'd walk in there and you're looking through games and you hear them, talking about Final Fantasy VII or something, like they're experts.
Maybe they have scripts for these people.
I almost wonder sometimes.
I just remember when we used to go to the EB games and that, where they had like the little EB troll guy that you could ask him how a game was and he legitimately played it and knew, and no, I'll stay away from that one, and that kind of thing. I miss the EB troll.
Next topic.
Here we go. One other quick voicemail message.
Hi, GamerCast. It's Cinnamon Man again. I'm going to have a GamerFest this Friday, and I'm wondering, what's a good first-person shooter game, other than Halo and COD, for 360? Like Resident Evil or something. Just wondering a good game that I could play with maybe 4 people or 2. I know there's Left 4 Dead, but I'm looking for something that's kind of old but kind of new, not that expensive. Yeah, love the show. Talk to you later.
Kind of old but still recent. Vegas 2 is always good.
So here's the problem I have, and we went through this a long time ago when I was going through my stint of trying to find multiplayer games that weren't split screen. Vegas is good, but I can't stand playing split screen games. So if you can find one that isn't split screen, that's always best in my opinion. So it's not necessarily a first-person shooter, but like Marvel Ultimate Alliance is always a blast with people in the room. It's always a lot of fun to run through that game. That's my pick, even though it's not a first-person shooter.
Gears of War. I guess that's kind of third person, isn't it?
But that's close enough. I'd have to go Vegas 2 as well.
Oh, I was trying to think of others besides Vegas.
Yeah, if you're not in the same room, that's not a bad game. If you're in the same room, I guess I'd agree with Ivan. What was the other? The X-Men? The X-Men games were always fun if you're all in the same room.
Yeah. They don't have that for the 360. That was Xbox, I think. The X-Men games were very good as well. So were the, whatever the game Chris had, the Vampire Hunter things.
Oh, Redemption? I know the one you mean.
That was a fun game. Hunter Redeemed.
Yeah, something like that.
Those were essentially the same kind of things as Ultimate Alliance and X-Men. Those were really good, but those are Xbox One games, so if you don't mind some old school games.
Next topic.
We pissed off somebody because of our talk of football. Soccer. Football. Let's see, this is from Velo. Hey dudes who I normally like, but who pissed me off in episode 133. I wanted to make it known that you do have at least one listener who loves both FIFA 09 and football. Of course, I do not refer to the bastardized version of rugby, which you referred to as football, but the sport which I think you'll find is the world's most popular sport. When you pour scorn on the world's favorite game, I think you risk offending anyone outside of the United States of America that listens to the show, and turning yourselves into stereotypes of ignorant Americans best symbolized by former President Bush. And the fact that only 20% of your countrymen own a passport, I own a passport. Huh.
I own a passport.
Perhaps you might like to take a minute in your next show to discuss why it is the sports that Americans love so much, American football, baseball, and basketball, have not caught on to any great extent anywhere else in the world except perhaps in a few Eastern European countries populated by people with trailer park-style haircuts that I'm sure are indicative of some kind of lack of basic intelligence.
Wow.
Could it be that real football actually is the best game in the world? Yes, is the answer, by the way. Why is the World Series called that when no one in the world at large gives a monkey's ass about it? And why your beloved gridiron isn't just called throw ball or something similarly apt? By the way, the answer to none of these questions is because Americans are smart.
Wow. I can respond to the World Series part. One, why does everybody from the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, South America, Japan want to play in the Major League Baseball in the United States? Baseball is a very popular sport. Soccer/football, European football, is popular at a young age in the United States. So I wouldn't go as far as saying it's not popular. Grade school, high school, college level, people are fans of soccer, football. Beyond that point, I don't think people really care in the United States. Just look at how the European soccer does not have the ratings, television-wise, as the Super Bowl for the NFL. I mean, the Super Bowl is the most watched event in the world.
Dude has issues. It's soccer. It's a sport. Get over it. If you want to make fun of American football, knock yourself out. I really don't care. Isn't that a weak reason to be offended?
For the same reason that soccer isn't popular here is the same reason that American football isn't popular over there. What's the big damn deal? One culture, one country likes one kind of sport, the other one doesn't. So soccer has been played for hundreds of years across the world, and it just never really caught on big in America. Well, that's because Americans like bigger, badder, tougher things. No one else in the world drives F-250 pickup trucks to work and back every day either. We like our football with a lot of contact. The rest of the world does things differently. They do everything differently too. This show has fully admitted to the fact that soccer is one of the most popular sports in the world. That doesn't mean that we have to like it or that Americans like it, but we acknowledge its existence and the fact that it's more popular than anything else. We'll also be the first one to, at least this show, will be the first one to admit that even though NASCAR's one of the most popular sports in America, that it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It's a bunch of cars driving around in a circle.
You're just turning left all the time. How is it a sport?
Because you're turning left really fast.
It's just pointless. I could see 2 or 3 laps. Like in Mario Kart. That's all you need. You don't need to go 500 times around or whatever the hell it is.
Needs to play Mario music too while they're racing. You like your thing, dude. We like ours. If you want to mock American football, mock away. I really don't get that offended about it. But we feel soccer is a joke. At least I do. And if it bothers you that much, I'm very sorry. But I'm not sorry. Get over it.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 134 for Sunday, March 22nd, 2009. Any Shattered Dream pies or ham sandwiches to give to the world peoples?
Ham sandwich to Missouri. Keep winning. You're all I have left.
Ham sandwich to Bob and Chris.
Why?
Because they're not here.
So why would you give them a ham sandwich? It would be a Shattered Dream pie.
That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. What?
Today's opposite day, where we say the opposite of what we really mean.
Yes, we love soccer.
No, we don't. That sport sucks.
Couple announcements. First up, the GamerCast Network Gaming Nights. This week, they're playing Call of Duty 4 on the Xbox 360. Go check out the details at the GamerCast Network forums at gamercastnetwork.com/forums. Next, our friends over at Game Trailers have a contest for the chance to win a trip to E3 this year. I'll put a link in the show notes. Go check it out. Finally, expect to start seeing some audio reviews from Keith on our podcast feed over the next couple weeks. And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org. Skype us at videogameshow or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night. Welcome to the GamerCast Network Video Game Show. I think I slurred that. Try again.
Drunkard.
I'm not drunk. I'm just...
Buzzed heavily.
And what's wrong if you are drunk?
I'm drunk off my own...
Power?
Man juice.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, God. That ain't right.
Maybe I should go get a drink right now then, actually.
Yeah, not a bad idea.